Right behind me you can see the Butch Cassidy Museum, which is not open and does not appear to be open ever. And when you ask people, they just tell you no, it's not open. So I don't know when it opens, but it's not open now, and it doesn't open tomorrow, and no one wants to open it for us. So...
Let's leave everything and go traveling. See what tomorrow brings. It's only a choice away. Let's back up and leave today. Let's see what tomorrow brings.
Well, I left you hanging last time. We had hit a roadblock, gotten stranded for a night, tried the next morning to get gas, but turns out everything in a uni was closed, and the roadblocks were just about to start again. So we booked it out of town. We didn't want to be stuck in a uni. And our only choice was to backtrack to the next little town that had fuel, San Cristobal. But when we got there, we found they had gas, but no diesel.
All right, we got gas, but they don't have diesel. So Tim and Shannon need diesel.
Yep. So we don't know what to do about that, really.
Yeah.
And that is where we find ourselves now.
You gotta be kidding me.
It's always something, right?
I know I've only got just a little over a half a tank.
Yeah? And nothing in the jerry can, right? Yeah.
I was going to fill them.
Yeah.
Of course. When it's cheap in a uni. So, where's my cell phone at? I'm gonna look at how far that town is cutting across. He said, road's okay. You know,
So
like...
I actually thought we might be able to, if we go back, there's a road that, you know where we camped?
Yeah.
So if you go straight across, essentially I think that's where those trucks were going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It diagonals a uni here, and it just hits the other highway that we want to be on anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And so the thing is it's probably smoothest to do that, but mileage-wise, it's pretty fastest to go like, so, yeah, if we go back up, we'll cut over, and then we're going back south. Once we get south, then we're going north to Potosi.
Sure. There's fuel stations here.
But there's fuel right here.
Along here?
Yeah.
So we just need to tie into there. So, like, what I was looking at, too, is in this town, there's a road that does cut straight across from the airport here. Because I said, is the road to San Vicente any good? He goes, it's pretty good. It's okay.
Oh, jeez.
And so I don't really know what that means. But
Yeah.
then, so there it is, Cerrillos, and it keeps cutting over this way. And then you tie in, I don't know how to force maps.me to take it, maybe shortest route. And then you're over here in this town where there's gas stations.
Tupiza was the nearest town with fuel, so that is where we aimed. There were some salt flats and big mountains between us and Tupiza, though, so we set off into the unknown, hoping the roads would go through. At first, we had to pick our way to the named roads on our maps via little unnamed roads that we hoped would head in the right direction, but with none of them marked on any maps, all we had was trial and error.
Yeah, and I wish it would just go left sooner, though. So if we see anything major that goes left, then we'll just hopefully be able to get to the highway. But another like 10 miles, it'll tee into that other road, and then we'll just turn left and head over. No point, right? I know we're gonna make it, but it's funny. We're gonna tee in at San Vicente.
But,
Oh, really?
But that could possibly take us to the highway, right? I mean, that kind of
It could.
looks like it's
More
going,
direct.
and
Yep.
we're kind of going
Yep.
parallel almost the way we're going right now.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's hard.
This is going to turn soon and continue going south, but it's not going to turn left until we tee.
Right.
So, what do you think?
How far is it that way?
It has it up
do you
there, I don't remember. It was only 53 miles when I started it, so it's got to be like maybe 40 something now.
Oh, really? That's
47 to San Vicente,
Yeah.
but then to Tupiza, it's like 70. And I wish there was a little hut right here. I mean, there's over there, but just be like, Tupiza? Yeah, Tupiza?
It's tough because that road looks big enough right now, at least, to be going somewhere, but
I know, and there's a dozer on it.
yeah.
Unfortunately, because of the fuel predicament, we didn't have much room for the error part of our trial and error navigation. But luckily, Shannon and other Tim were down to take the chance. That night, we made it just about halfway to Tupiza, right outside of a little mining town called San Vicente. We found a random canyon to make camp in, and that night, a little snowstorm rolled through. In the morning, it was pretty chilly.
Snowy cold morning. We're 5 miles outside San Vicente. We're gonna go check out where supposedly Butch Cassidy and Sundance were shot. We're taking this by default. There's roadblocks in the uni, so we actually didn't think we were gonna go to this town, but there's nowhere else to go, so we bought fuel and we're heading through San Vicente. And then we're gonna try and find a town with an ATM and some diesel, since they didn't have diesel at the last town we were in, so he's on fumes. But man, it's still got to be sort of at freezing or below freezing, 14,000 feet. Brr.
So, like Tim mentioned, we were headed to San Vicente. San Vicente is a teeny tiny town of about 100 people. It sits in the mountains of Bolivia at 14,771 feet, and it's really just there because of the silver mine. It's a cold town, and not just in the temperature sense. It's practical, harsh, rough around the edges. Only the bare necessities are there. And its claim to fame is that it's rumored to have been the place where Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were shot, killed, and might even be buried. There's a lot of hearsay around the topic, though. As seems to be becoming our practice, we entered San Vicente via a random back road, which was good because we would find out when we left via the main road that they were very suspicious of visitors. I can't say this was the friendliest place we have ever been. But as we drove into town, looking at all the Land Cruisers, I couldn't help picturing two gringo cowboys riding into town, in the cold. I imagine they got the same warm welcome we would receive. Who knows if Butch or Sundance was ever actually here, but I was excited to see this town. As a kid, I was fascinated with outlaws like Butch, Sundance, Jesse James, and Billy the Kid. So it was neat that we randomly found ourselves in this town. On the map, we saw there was a museum dedicated to the outlaw duo, which was our first and only stop in Little San Vicente. You'd think in a town of 100 people, you'd be able to easily find the museum. But we couldn't find the road down into town, if you can even call it that. We asked and no one seemed to know. Eventually, we found the little museum dedicated to the two gringo outlaws that had fled to South America.
See photos of Butch Cassidy in there.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, there's like newspaper clippings and stuff and photos of them. So that is the Butch Cassidy Museum.
We found it, guys.
That's funny.
I found it.
You found it. If you look in the window, there's photos of them in there. But,
Really?
yeah, I mean.
It's still quite chilly, but we made it to San Vicente, which is just really a mining town. And right behind me, you can see the Butch Cassidy Museum, which is not open and does not appear to be open ever. And when you ask people, they just tell you no, it's not open. So I don't know when it opens, but it's not open now, and it doesn't open tomorrow, and no one wants to open it for us. So, yeah. I guess this is it.
Well, after all of us looking in the museum windows and taking pictures of the building for a good 10 minutes, the lady from the tienda, the one I had asked about when the museum might be open, grumpily trudged over, unlocked the doors, took our money, and trudged back into the sad little store next door.
Somebody came and opened the door. So I think Tim is going to go in there because it's 10 per person and we have no cash right now. So we have 10 and that's about it.
Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Like the old money, that's pretty cool. We're in San Vicente, Bolivia, supposedly where Butch Cassidy and Sundance met their demise. The museum just has photos of like the same photos you've seen of Butch Cassidy and Sundance if you Google it, so they've blown those up. The mine put the museum together, like 20 years ago or something like that. So there's the building where they supposedly were shot, anything having to do with that, it's long gone. The cemetery, I guess she said it was not marked, so they're supposedly in the cemetery, but it's not even marked. So yeah, I don't know, it doesn't give you this great feeling because there's no evidence. These two guys died, they were happy they caught them, no one thought to like document it or take a photo. You'd think they'd take a photo of the dead bodies, but you think of Bolivia now, out in the mountains. Back then, the idea that somebody would have a camera, which would be modern, fancy equipment, is pretty unlikely. So it was pretty cheesy, I'll be honest. It was just Butch Cassidy and Sundance, meaning Paul Newman and Robert Redford. Photos of them on the walls, stock photos of Butch Cassidy and Sundance in the US when they had photos taken. But we don't know if they ever made it to Bolivia. I hope it's real.
So, with some research on this area and the claims of Butch and Sundance being here, I found that the grave that was said to be theirs was dug up and was concluded to just be a German miner from the area. In Butch's sister's book about him, she explains that a friend made up the story of Butch being killed in Bolivia so he would not be pursued. And in 1925, he returned to the U.S. to visit his dying father and attend a family wedding. After that, he lived in Washington under an alias until his death in 1937. He was buried in an unmarked grave that has been kept a family secret. So, who really knows?
It's kind of cool. This is a gnarly, cold mountain town that's purely a mining town. If you've been to a mining town, you know what I mean. They're kind of no BS places. So it's weird that they would have ended up here, but I kind of want to believe it, but I don't know. You can decide for yourself wherever they ended up. Interesting history from the U.S. and Utah, where we love to explore, in the Maze District, where Butch Cassidy and Sundance were. And here I am in the same truck that I was in the Maze District in Bolivia. So that's kind of neat, I have to say, whether it's true or not.
I don't know if you guys will be able to hear the sound of the wind through all of these, but it sounds like an airplane or something. It's crazy.
That's so windy. Yeah. When it kicks, like when there's a gust, like right now it's crazy windy, and then there's a gust that pushes you.
But that noise is insane.
Yeah.
Never heard anything like that.
No. That's just the sound of it coming up all these little canyons.
Well, from San Vicente, we found our way along the windy, windy route, and yet again found ourselves entering Tupiza via a random back road. Shannon and other Tim on fumes. Our first stop was an ATM, then fuel. We had made it.
We did the trek essentially from San Cristobal over to Tupiza,
Yes.
and we got
made it.
gas.
Yeah. They were almost out of gas, but
Yeah.
we did make it. And we weren't sure because it was quite a bit of a climb at the end there.
Yeah, a lot of mountains.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the drive from San Cristobal to Tupiza is like beautiful graded dirt roads. We're getting like 15, 16 miles per gallon because you're just rolling and you're keeping your speed in the corners. And then all of a sudden you hit San Vicente, the mining town, Butch Cassidy, Sundance town. And on the way to that and everything past that is up, down, and you're climbing, climbing huge mountains. So we weren't sure if they were going to make it on the diesel they had. But thankfully they did, and we had to pay the most we've paid, I think, for fuel, 7 Bolivianos per liter. I don't know exactly, works out to $4 a gallon or more. What's that?
We were able to get cash as well.
Yeah, thank God. We also found an ATM that worked, and right now we're about to hit the town of Potosi, and then today we're going to go right through Potosi onto Sucre, and we're going to get an Airbnb for I think 2 nights.
Yeah.
We're going to share one with them, and we haven't showered in a few weeks now.
Yeah, it's been a long time actually.
We haven't had cell service in a few weeks. We've had it for no more than 4 or 5 minutes, literally.
Yeah.
We've posted a YouTube video 2 weeks ago, and then we posted a YouTube video 3 days ago, whatever that was.
Yeah.
And I had to climb on a mountain to do it both of those times.
Yeah, so excited for a shower.
Yeah.
Really excited for like, I don't know, a hamburger or like some sort of food that we didn't make.
Yeah.
And excited to see what Sucre is like because we've heard a lot of good things about it. So
that's that. But for tonight, hopefully just hanging out and relaxing at a Airbnb and checking out Sucre.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Join us next time as we head into civilization. We check out Sucre and then head to Bolivia's biggest city, Santa Cruz, where we do some maintenance on Goose.
10,000 kilometers.
10,000 kilometers.
Oh, just...
Take the okay bad ones.
Yeah, I know, right?
You guys missed it. There was a llama walking through town, and somebody had their cart with, corn and all that stuff, and there was nobody at the cart. Llama walked right over and was just eating off the cart.
Yeah, he ripped open a
like
bag,
that.
was eating it. It was so funny.
I got video of it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yep. All right, we'll give one to
Was
him.
it everything you dreamed it would be?
It's majestic. Yeah, that was the visitation of the week or month.
I
I say month.
When you went...